Happy Monday. It's Monday, 23rd of December. Many people are now back with their families and probably they're fed up of each other already. And now they're looking at their computer trying to learn something new because they don't want to listen to the arguments about the garden. So what are we going to talk about today? I'm going to talk about the Snook DeepCode AI. This is a tool for detecting AI malware and various different types of malware. Now, yesterday, I recorded a video on polymorphic malware, Black Mamba, and you can go and watch that video. And you can, by the way, you can subscribe to the channel as well. I only have 113 subscribers. But yesterday I recorded a video on how you can use AI to build malware, how you can hack different devices and computers with using AI. Now, in this video, I'm going to show you how to detect AI malware in the code or in the pipeline or in the data repository. And we're going to use Snook for that. What is Snook? Well, Snook, Deep Code was a separate thing, and then Snook acquired Deep Code and yada, yada, yada. Long story short, I'm going to show you how to use it. We're going to use the free version and we're going to run some code and we're going to analyze the code and try to find viruses in the code. If you have never used Snook, stick with me for 10-15 minutes and you're gonna learn the basics. I'm not gonna do a very long video. I'm gonna try to cut it in parts. So today we're gonna learn how to set up the account on Snook. We're going to learn how to import your GitHub repository in Snook, and then we can learn. This is a test analysis that I performed just now. We can run analysis on how to test code and to detect if there are issues in the code or not. So we're gonna also gonna use Python for this one. But you don't need to know how to use Python. Actually, you don't need to know how to use anything. For this demo, you're going to be able to run the whole process on your device. The key thing here, and this is, I have to emphasize this, the key thing is that if you just listen to me talking, you're gonna lose the plot. You have to open the computer, stop the video, open the computer, and start doing things with me because it's gonna look very complicated and it's really not that complicated. It's just that you won't know how to do it. So, first step, what do you need to do? You need to go to the Snook web page, which is that one over there, and then you need to click on sign up. So you have to sign up for this, and they have paid versions and free versions. We're going to use the free version. So for the free version, you need to connect either with your GitHub or with your, well, no, actually there's a step before. So since I have already logged in, let's try to open this in let's try to open this in a incognito just to show you. So if you open this and you click sign up, it's gonna ask you to sign up with GitHub or with Google. I tried with Google. I didn't want to give them my, and then I managed to log in here. But then you're still gonna have to register with your GitHub anyways in the second step. So it's up to you how you do it. I connected my Google and my GitHub. There's nothing really here to be worried, but just for, as a precaution you can create a separate email. So I created a completely separate email here, AI School Oxford, and I'm using that to test it. By the way, if you're interested in this kind of longer content, you can probably, if you work for a company, your company would have access to O'Reilly. Many people don't know that they have that in their company data repository. And I'm going to do a 4-hour course with O'Reilly. So it's on AI malware analysis with Pearson's, and that's on January the 3rd. And this video is basically me doing the prep work for January the 3rd. So once you connect it with Google, you need to connect your GitHub. And then when you click on the next step, it's going to ask you to connect your repositories. And click on the next step. It's going to, anyways, you need to authenticate GitHub. Very straightforward things, but many people would get confused at that stage and give up. So this is where we have, I just created those repositories and we're going to use those. So I'm not going to import them here. I'm going to show you the tricks of how to use, but this is the very first step. You need to have registered for Snook. Then the second thing is that you're gonna need this authorization token, but I'm gonna show you when and how that. That's it's here where you can't see it, but there's an authorization token that you need to use Slack, and that's how you integrate Slack with GitHub. So here, as you can see, it's still importing target, but it doesn't matter. I can use it. So when I go to the GitHub, if I go on my GitHub and if I look at the repositories, that's my two repositories, and don't bother following this GitHub. I'm gonna create a new one after a little while. I just yeah, it's a long story. You work in security for a long time and then you start becoming paranoid and you have all these different usernames and you delete them after a while. Clean state, you start from the beginning. And I know some people prefer to have a repository that's just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. I've never had that desire. So here is the repository, and you would just need to click on type new and type a repository. So this could be a Snook AI test, or you can call it whatever. This is a demo, and we can make it private because I'm gonna delete it anyways. I'm gonna delete the repository, and this is the first step. So you are here. Now, before you start, basically you're going to be creating repositories in your GitHub, and you want Snook to be running the security analysis of your code automatically. So you don't want to be doing that, like all the time. You need to have a push function. So everything that you type in your GitHub would be safe and secure, and you can check for vulnerabilities in the code that you're typing. That's the whole idea. But in order for Snook to do that, you need to connect it with the repository. So you need to go here in settings. So that's the button over there. And then you need to go to secrets and variables here, actions. And you need to create a new repository secret. So you need to have a secret here. Um, Going one step back, for this repository secret, you also need to go to the GitHub and look for the Snook Python actions. So how do you do that? Snook Marketplace, and then you're going to get to the Snook Market actions. I choose Python. You can choose whichever language you're comfortable with, but simple. Just let me hit GitHub Marketplace. That's all you need to do, GitHub Marketplace, because I don't want you to get confused and not know how to get to the Snook action. So here you need to look for Snook, and you see you have the app. You're not looking for the app, you're looking for the action. So action, and here you can choose various different languages, Ruby, whatever, Docker. I chose Python, and that brought me to the same web page here. So there we are. That's how you get to there. And you need to create this Snook token. So you need to have a token for Snook to connect to your GitHub and to analyze the code that you're writing, because every time you write code, you're copying and pasting things from everywhere. And you don't want to include vulnerabilities in your code because you copied and pasted the code from somewhere else, or in the data pipeline, or there's actually different ways on how. So, for example, the vulnerabilities doesn't have to be in the code, could be in the dependency, in the container, could be in different ways, but that's going to be a video, a different video. I can do that tomorrow. So let's just find out how to connect Snook with your GitHub. Actually, it's very easy, but there's a trick here. So you need to go back to your Snook, and you need to go to the settings, account settings, and the authorization token is here, but you cannot see it. So you need to click here and copy that. So you see how it becomes available once you click, and many people get confused with that. So it is here, just that you cannot see it. And once you click, you can see it. So that's the code. And then you need to create new repository secret. You paste that over there. Then you would copy this Snook token, and you would put that as a title there, and there you are. So that's your secret. So your secret is ready here to work, and now you need to create a Python file and start running the code. So let's see, how did we do it with the last one? So repositories with this one. What were the steps? So app Python. So you need to create, so for this one, let's go to the new repository, Snook AI test, and you would create, where was it? Snook AI test, create new file, app Python. Okay, and now here you need to enter some code. So this is just basically how you would create a file in Python. And then you would start typing code. Now, this part is not the part that we're learning here. So this is just a normal bulk standard way to create a file in GitHub. What we're trying to do is to determine the code that we're going to type here if it's going to have vulnerabilities. So you want Snook to automatically be checking for vulnerabilities in your code as you copy and paste things from the internet. And to demonstrate that, I'm gonna go to ChatGPT and I asked ChatGPT to create code free from malware. So there we are. I'm gonna copy that code. It's very simple code, and I'm gonna paste that code. And I know you can just see through it. There's nothing there. But then I'm gonna record another video tomorrow, and I'm gonna input codes with malware inside with vulnerabilities, and I'm gonna ask Snook to detect the vulnerabilities. But obviously, these videos will get too long. Nobody's gonna watch it. So in this video, we're just starting with the setup and showing you how to work. So that's why we are including code with no vulnerabilities. And what are we doing now? This is your normal day-to-day work, and you're gonna have this code, but without Snook, you're not gonna know if there are vulnerabilities. Now we're gonna commit these changes, and we're gonna save this file. Now from here, there's another step. So if you click on action, if you don't know about me, my name is Petar. I work for the University of Oxford in AI security. I'm recording these videos in my free time when I have, actually it's gone past midnight here. It's gonna help if you click the like button and if you subscribe to the channel, because those two things, they help the channel grow and they keep me motivated to keep recording the videos. So let's continue with the actual video. Okay, so here we have the action. Long story short, workflow versus workflows. So this one letter here was enough to mess it up. It's midnight, it's gone past midnight here. I don't know if you can see the time. So my brain is not working very well. And as you can see here, so that small letter S, workflow versus workflows, was sufficient for this bug. And security, you see, it doesn't work. And if you open that, you can check here why. Why is it not working? So there's a lot of detailed, everything is gone, but here it's saying could not detect support target file, yada yada yada. Anyways, it has an error. So what does that mean? And I had to look at that, so I'm just gonna tell you what's the solution as opposed to going the long way around. But there's a function here, so you need to include that function and this function. Because if you read the whole description here, there's gonna be explanation why, but we're not gonna do that. So we're just gonna look at the solution. So code, GitHub, workflows, you see, so that one was the one in error that I made with just without the S. So a rookie mistake. And this one, then we need to edit. So here is where the magic happens. So you need to um, put that in the line with those like that. And here you need to start with the width function. Where is the width function? Width function. Where did it disappear? Snug Python action. Oh yes, width, that one. Width. So width, two dots. And then command, command, two dots, and then code test. So you need to type here code test because basically it's running various different types of tests. So you can go to the README here. So the type of test that we're doing here, it's a code test. Code test. In other videos I'm gonna record, so there's dependencies, containers, code. So here we're running a code test, and that's it. We need to save this. And now, if we go to actions, and we're not gonna click on that one is the old one, and we're gonna update, and this should give us a clear result. So we know that the code is clean because we asked GitHub to give us a clean code. We don't have a code with vulnerabilities. I cannot do that tomorrow, but you see test completed. So it has tested it, and the code that we provided, it has no vulnerabilities. As you can see here, imagine you're working in your GitHub and you're writing your code, you have your files over here, and you want to check for vulnerabilities. You want to check for exploits, because you're copying and pasting things from everywhere. So code, more than 80, probably 90% of all the code that we write is copied and pasted from somewhere, and you're not going to be going through each line just to detect that the code is safe. You will just go here to actions. You would click on that. Actually, you don't even have to click. It's green. If there's something wrong, it's going to be orange or a different color, but that is green. And there you are. I'm going to stop the video here. I'm going to record another video tomorrow. We're going to keep expanding on how to use the DeepCode AI. This is a short video on how to set it up and how to start using it. I'll see you in the next one tomorrow for Christmas.